First off, I just want to acknowledge some of the groups, all the groups in Brooklyn Speaks that have really been fighting for this accountability for the last 7 years. We've got a number of folks here. We've got Deb Howard here from Pratt Area Community Council. Woohoo! We've got Gib Facconi, and I don't know if I saw Ellen from Prospect Heights Neighborhood Development Council as well. Yeah, those folks need lots of rounds of applause. We've got Marjana Jones, and I don't know if Reverend Miller's here just yet. Where am I going? From Brown Memorial Baptist Church and Brown Memorial CDC. And actually, as I call up the names of the folks that have been a part of the coalition for Brooklyn Speaks, please come up. That would be great. I don't know if I saw Howard Collins from the Borum Hill Association, but of course we also have Joanne Simon, one of the longtime leaders of the Borum Hill Association. She's also the female district leader in the 52nd Assembly District. And we all know that she's a longtime advocate and friend who knows community issues deep in her heart. Diaspora Services was part of the settlement as well, and we really want to thank them. And I don't know if Corinne is here. And of course, the Atlantic Avenue Local Development Corporation, and of course, Fifth Avenue Committee. And I want to make sure that Sabine gets up here too. But we also have a couple individuals who were willing to stand up as part of this process, because in order to achieve what we achieved, the reality is that we had to talk some really challenging talk, and there was a threat of litigation, and there were some individuals who were willing to stand up, even though they themselves weren't going to benefit from the process. They were really standing in for the tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, really, of New Yorkers who are in desperate need of affordable housing, and they were willing to stand up and say, I need to be counted, my voice needs to be heard. And so I know that Renee Mintz is here, and I know she has some family members. So Renee, please come on up. I think Deron Hudson, he's at a meeting, like an organizer, right? He'll be back later. Melinda Gooms, I don't know that I saw Melinda, but and there were a number of other people who participated that I'm going to speak about later. But really, those four folks in particular, in addition to Benita Clark, absolutely, were willing to stand up. And I just want to say that a number of these folks came from Brown Memorial's congregation. And I know that Reverend Miller wants to say a few words about that. And then we're really fortunate to have our controller here with us today, Scott Stringer. And I know he's on a tight schedule. So come on up, say, huh?
Thank you. Listen, I just wanted to come by tonight and just say congratulations to all the activists, all the people who never gave up, who believe that this city and this borough should be for everybody. You know, we did, when I became controller, we did an affordable housing report, and check this out. 400,000 apartments that rented for $1,000 or less over the last 10 years do not exist anymore. Think about that. So what you were able to do, the Fifth Avenue Committee, all the people here, Brooklyn Speaks, all of you made a tremendous difference. And all our jobs is to work with the mayor, and let's build affordable housing for real. Let's make it permanent, and let's make this city for everybody. Thank you all very much, and congratulations to Joanne, the pastor, and all of you. Thank you, Madam City Planning Commissioner. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Controller Stringer, really appreciate you coming. And then I'm just going to invite up, who's right under my nose, Reverend Miller, because I think for those folks who haven't had the opportunity to visit his congregation, I have to tell you that it's a beautiful congregation, and he's an absolutely incredible pastor, reverend, and incredibly moving and inspirational. And I know that from day one in this fight for accountability at Atlantic Yards, he's been front and center calling for what needed to be called for. And I know that I am privileged to have had a chance to work with him and Marjana and the entire congregation as part of this effort in Brooklyn Speaks. I'm short.
We thank Michelle De La Hoz and her leadership, Gib Bocconi, Fifth Avenue Committee, Brooklyn Speaks. Make some noise, come on. This is a celebration. Welcome, this is a celebration. To our city controller, who's gone on record to say that he is going to use his office as a tool and resource for more affordable housing. We look forward to talking about those funds and making more affordable housing a reality. To the Brown Community Development Corporation, Marjana Jones, Joanne, Deb Howard from Pratt Area Community Council. You have made history in Brooklyn, and considering all of the negative graphic images, not only in our city, but unfortunately around our world, considering revived conflict in Israel and Palestine, what's going on in Iraq, the unfortunate events in Ferguson, Missouri, Staten Island police brutality, you have made up your mind in the midst of a context of a lot of negativity in the world to do something positive. And that positive activity was to go out and make sure that you advocated for more affordable housing. I don't think you know it, but it's very difficult to go toe-to-toe with well-resourced developers, especially in this city, and that fight translating into expedited affordable housing. You have cut out for yourselves a sliver of history. So tonight, not only is a celebration for us, and we thank God for all the plaintiffs, Benita, Duran, Renee, and all of the other plaintiffs. It's not only a celebration tonight, but this is a rally that we may be further motivated to do even more work. Now we have to hold the developer accountable. And even after that, I think we should resurrect the dialogue about trying to get the federal government to retool and modify what area median income looks like. Area median income does not reflect the residents of New York City. And I think that's another fight. Eat, drink, dance, don't drink too much. But not only is this a celebration, but this is a pep rally. Put your hands together, make some noise for yourselves. Come on, make some noise. Make some noise. Make some noise, make some noise. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Thank you, Reverend Miller. I was just mentioning to Michelle, after the next big victory we have in this fight, I'm going to ask to speak sometime before the Reverend Miller because he's a very, very challenging speaker to follow. My name is Gib Bocconi, and I'm the treasurer of the Prospect Heights Neighborhood Development Council. I began working on the Atlantic Yards project about 10 years ago, and I had the idea at the time, well, I had been invited, I got involved with this, was invited to a meeting at One Metrotech with Forest City Ratner. And I've written about the meeting, and I'm not going to talk about what happened there other than to say it was clear to me the community was going to need to do something to be engaged in a meaningful way in the outcome of the project. And at first I thought it would be possible to just organize our one neighborhood and be able to have an impact. But that was not enough to have one neighborhood to try to accomplish something in a project of this size. And so we have been, in Prospect Heights, have been very fortunate to be able to partner with all of the organizations of Brooklyn Speaks, the Park Slope Civic Council, the Boerum Hill Association, the Pratt Area Community Council, the Fifth Avenue Committee, the Atlantic Avenue LDC, Diaspora Community Services, Brown Memorial, CDC. It's been an incredible experience, and let me say that people don't organize, get together, and accomplish things like this in good times. They accomplish things like this when times are hard, when they're up against very challenging odds and they have tremendous work to do. And I can't tell you what it means to me to be standing here tonight with all of these people who've worked so hard and from whom I've learned so much, and all of you, and consider what we've accomplished for all of our communities, our neighborhoods, our constituents. This is a major victory, and although we know Brooklyn is changing and change is coming here and there's nothing we can do, we're not going to turn that around, but nor are we ever going to be rolled over by changes that are coming to our borough. We've shown that the community organized together can be a part of the change, influence it, and be impactful in the development of our city. So thank you to everyone who's participated in this. Thank you all for being here tonight. Let's go on. Let's keep it happening.
Joanne, you want to say something?
Hi, I'm going to be very brief. My name is Joanne Simon, and I'm here, got involved in this effort originally because I was working with the Borum Hill Association. And I want to say that this is a beautiful, beautiful night and a beautiful victory to be celebrated. This is about you and I and all of us having a meaningful voice in the decisions that affect our lives. This is what we have been fighting for years. It is about us, and it is about the collective. As Gibbs said, one neighborhood can't do it. We showed that by bringing together neighborhoods and community-based organizations that we can make a real difference and we can make it better. And that's what this is about. And I am just so delighted and so honored to have worked with the people I've worked with in Brooklyn Speaks in creating this group and making this happen. And I just want to celebrate with them and with you all this wonderful victory. Thank you so much.
Tabby, you want to say that? Okay. Marjana, would you like? Marjana Jones, I think many people in the audience know who she is. I just want to do amazing shout out here. See the woman to my right and this woman to my left? The reality is that we could not have had this victory without the two of them. They did an incredible, Sabine and Marjana did an incredible amount of work. You know, trying to identify folks who would be willing to stand up to be individual plaintiffs, going out and doing pushed out, priced out information sessions in a number of neighborhoods and really talking about how quickly neighborhoods are changing and how a delay of affordable housing impacts the communities, in particular the African American community. They did that. And so the reality is we're here today because they did so much work. So thank you both so much.
Thank you, everybody. I will be brief. How many folks went to a film screening that had to do with Atlantic Yards? How many folks went to a protest rally demanding justice at Atlantic Yards? How many folks were at a priced out, pushed out event we did? Right? Oh, sí, I don't see it.
Alguna gente estaba en una película sobre Atlantic Yards. Mira, esa gente en Inquilinos Unidos, me ven las manos, los brazos, para arriba, para arriba.
I say that all to that to say that there's been a tremendous amount of work throughout all of the years that went into this victory tonight. It is nothing short of super courageous that we had individuals like Benita Clark and others that were willing to stand up to our governor and stand up to the developer, sign their names on a dotted line that you are disenfranchising me and my community and I want this housing and I want it now because we paid for it with our public dollars. We did a lot of work, but Michelle De La Use and Gib Vaconi were there in the negotiations, masterful at that, making sure we were all updated, numerous conference calls a day, and it has really been a pleasure and an honor to work with all of you all, and we would not have gotten this far if we hadn't had the continued support from everybody in here. Folks waiting in line for some burgers and hot dogs, folks sitting down and eating. All of us need to be celebrating this victory. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Sabine Aronowski. I've been with Fifth Avenue Committee for a year and a half, but I've been with this neighborhood for a long time. I won't give you my age. I just really want to thank everybody, and I really want to recognize a few individuals. In addition to this settlement, we've been writing a pushed out, priced out report. We also have a video regarding the settlement that we want to show to folks. Hopefully we can screen it after this part of the program. So I do want to say, though, I just want to thank the individuals who gave us their time, their information, their stories, very personal stories, and it contributed to the priced out, pushed out report. First, I want to thank Lance Freeman, the professor of urban planning at Columbia University, who did a lot of the data projections and really was able to show the pattern of the African American residents getting pushed out of our neighborhoods, especially Crown Heights and Bed-Stuy. I mean, we all know that, but to see it, based on census data is a really different thing. The Urban Justice Center, Harvey Epstein and Ted Barbieri, who offered their services pro bono, Wilmer Hale as well, Aurelia Hepburn Briscoe, Kyla Stewart and Calvin Walden, the Reverend who already spoke, and the whole Brown Memorial Baptist Church congregation deserves a big thank you. Daron Hudson, who isn't here right now, Benita, right here, thank you, Benita. Hermelinda Gums, Renee Simpson, Diana Foster, I know you're here. Anika Tank Burt, Mona Williams, Natherleen Bolden from the Crown Heights Tenant Union, Al Butzel, Stuart Pertz, who lent his voice to our video, Steve DeSev, our fabulous videographer, filmmaker, also Kelly Anderson, who did My Brooklyn, and Linda and Sonia from LCG Communications, and also Craig Stephen Wilder. Again, he also provided a lot of input for the report, and it's important to acknowledge their time and contributions as well, so thank you.
So I think one thing that we all know, that even moving up the provision of those 2,250 units, even though that's an important victory, the reality is that the affordable housing crisis in New York City is much, much bigger than that. The demand for affordable housing is something that it's at obviously crisis levels. It has been at crisis levels for more than 70 years, which is why we have rent stabilization in the city of New York. And I think, so there are next steps. This is one victory, but the reality is the battle to create and preserve affordable housing in the city of New York and make this a place where people of all backgrounds and all races and all incomes can call home. That's a much larger battle, and Atlantic Yards was never going to solve that in and of itself. But there are some important other things that we need to keep our eye on, not only with Atlantic Yards, but in general with large-scale development. And that is really about the thing that Reverend Miller mentioned about the area median income and making sure that the affordable housing that gets built is affordable to people that live here and people, quite honestly, who get displaced because the units, the apartments that are in the neighborhoods are no longer affordable to them. And of course, the other piece is we're about to embark on significant construction, right? This project is a multi-billion-dollar project, many, many buildings. And the reality is that there's going to be construction impacts. There's going to be impacts on the community. Anytime there's construction, there are impacts. And so these are things that we're going to have to monitor, and these are things that we're going to have to keep our eye on. And fortunately, now we have a mechanism, we have a tool, and I also think we have a willing participant now with Forest City Ratner and with their new partner, Greenland Holdings. I think they welcome, to some extent, our involvement in the overview and in the project, because they have seen that there is a benefit to them in working with the community to get this project done and get it done right. So, but in terms of the affordable housing, I want you to know that Fifth Avenue Committee and Pratt Area Community Council and a number of other community-based organizations are hosting pre-lottery information sessions in the community. The next one is November 13th, because those 2,250 units of affordable housing, they're not the only affordable housing being built. There's another 1,100 units of affordable housing, in particular in Community Board 2, that's being built. And there's going to be thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that are applying for those units. And you need to prepare for that opportunity. You need to get your credit in order. You need to make sure that you have all your paperwork in order. And those are things that you can learn and that groups like Fifth Avenue Committee and Pratt Area Community Council can help you with. So we have a flyer that's on the table as you come in that can give information about that, because we really want people to take advantage of the opportunity to apply for the affordable housing, especially local residents. That is very important. I think it might be time for the video. Yes. We're ready. So we have a 10-minute video, which we have to thank in 5 minutes. Okay. In 5 minutes, we're going to have a 10-minute video. But I think I saw Councilmember Cumbo just come in. Is that right?
Yes, you did.
Councilmember Cumbo, would you like to come up and say a few words briefly? And then right after that, we're going to have the video. We really do invite people to come in and watch the video. Okay. And I just want to recognize someone else here from the Borum Hill Association, and just someone who's been a long-time participant in Brooklyn Speaks, and that's Sid Meyer, whose brilliant legal mind contributed to some of our arguments in our claim, which will never be filed if we all have our way. So, Councilmember Cumbo, welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I was on the food line until I was pulled aside, but that's okay. It's always good to be called out. Only leave it to the Fifth Avenue Committee to have such incredible and dynamic speeches at their party. So I'm just so happy to be here. As a new city council representative, I really thank everyone here who have paved the way and done such instrumental work to ultimately make my job that much easier as a new council member. But the fight still continues, and we have so much more to do in the way of affordable housing in our communities, and working with the mayor to make sure that his housing plan is in alignment with our goals. So I definitely look forward to working with each and every one of you. It's an honor to be your representative, and the fight and the struggle continues. But I think it's so important that we take an opportunity to celebrate victories at the same time as well, because this was a long, hard fight, and you all really did the work. You didn't give up, and I'm happy to be here and to join each and every one of you. And we've got to continue. This isn't a vacation, but it is a celebration, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you for everyone today.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna do the video inside the community room there. So please feel free to come in. We have cake, we have watermelon. So come and have your dessert and watch a movie. And after that, the music will come back on, and we really want to thank our band as well.
And let me get my food first, and then I'm yours.